Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Trump's attempt to break up Brics. Brics is the organization of emerging or developing economies. And its members, the initial members, are Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They accepted more countries and they will accept even more. Now, in this video, I will show you that brute force is the energy that rules this planet, rules this world. It is not reason. We call ourselves civilized, but no, civilization is something that is just the veneer that covers the animal that we are. We're not different in our behavior than they were our ancestors. 2,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, 7,000 years ago, we act the same way. Brute force. Reason helps. Reason helps. I want to show you here how Russia proved that to be true. How? Russia is accepted again in the family of good nations, the civilized nations, because Russia did not lose a brute war. Here they are. Putin talked to the leader of the free world. Yesterday, Putin was considered a criminal with an arrest warrant from the ICC court. Russians were considered this and considered that. War crimes, all that is gone. Why? Russia did not lose in Ukraine. So if Russia needed a war and so many hundreds of thousands of people perished, then that proves that, well, you come to the negotiating tables after I didn't lose. That means you lost. So we have here the United States of America's attempt to break Brics. Why? Because it's a big challenge. They tried with Russia, have been trying with Russia. Trump just reinvited, or said that Russia should rejoin G8, the powerhouses, economic powerhouses of this planet. No, those are the dying whores of this planet. Actually, Brics is the engine and the developing engine of this world. Those are just consumers and in charge, they think. They're in charge of about 30-some countries. That's all they are. The globe has about 193 countries. So, Trump invited Russia. Trump talks to Putin. Trump wants to take Russia first out of the Brics. Why? The Brics challenges these guys' hegemony, not only militarily, economically, and financially, challenging the petrodollar. There's a little schemers. That's what it is. So, Russia first, now is India's turn. And we have here Modi, the Prime Minister of India, was invited to join Donald Trump at the White House. What a coincidence. Modi and India, they were very, very smart, obviously, and they played at both ends. They said, you know what? We are going to do what is in the best interest of the Indian people. And we are strong enough to withstand your blackmail, your threats, your regime change attempts in India, and you being Al Capone. Well, what are you going to do? So now it's a fight. I will give you this, just leave these guys away, just break out. I will give you this, just forget about those things. So the same they tried with Russia with G8. And I'm going to show you what Donald Trump promised to give India. All of a sudden, everything is possible. Everything. Remember, Erdogan, the leader, the president of Turkey, he's not going to receive F-35s. F-35s are given to Greece, not to Turkey. F-16s to Turkey. Why? Turkey is a NATO member state. India is not. All right, so let's go. Modi arrives in the United States for talks with Trump. Video. The Indian Prime Minister began his visit with a meeting with newly confirmed Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. I like her very, very much. Intelligent, presentable, and smart, knowledgeable. She's a good one. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday evening for a 2-day visit to the United States following an invitation from President Donald Trump. The bilateral talks between the two leaders are expected to focus on key areas such as trade, defense, and counterterrorism, according to New Delhi. All right, so what happened? Here is what Trump promised everything. Russia Today, 14th of February. Doubling trade. An energy deal, that is to obviously destroy the Russian deal, F-35s, and reciprocal tariffs. So that is equal footage, foot stand, how do you want to call it. Key takeaways from the Trump-Modi talks. So doubling trade. We can allow your things to be sold in America, so you're going to make some profit. Your economy will make some going up. An energy deal. While we sanction Russians, we're going to give you what the Russians give you right now. Just leave the Russians alone. The problem is the Russians not only are closer, the Russian energy is much cheaper. So what is going to happen? Well, make a deal. Let's make a deal. Cut the deal. Next one, F-35s. F-35s right here. But let me show you a video from about 2 days ago that I made right here. How Russia plus India plus France fooled the United States resources technology transfer under US angry nose. Baltic fools. Here it is. Russia gives India most advanced fighter jet, Sukhoi 57. So the Russians already outsmarted them, saying, you know what? And the Indians are the big winners here. We're going to get Sukhoi 57, the newest, the stealth fighter of the Russians. These guys are going to give them only the F-35, not the whatever it is right now, 50 something, whatever. The guy that just fell down a few days ago, if you watched it, the newest. Remember? He just fell, I don't know, in San Diego or something. He just fell off from the sky. Thank God the pilot ejected. So it's a fight for India. Let's see what this article brings here. And I'm going to show you how Germany collapses as well. So let's see what's doing. All right, friends will be friends right till the end, right there. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, beep, 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 do. All right, the leaders discussed a range of issues. 1. Trade target. The two leaders have agreed to elevating bilateral trade to $500 billion by 2030, more than double than current volume. All right, what does that mean? We're going to make it better. I must say, India imposes a 30, 40, 60, and even 70% tariffs on so many of the goods, and in some cases, far more than that. The US trade deficit with India is almost $100 billion, and Prime Minister Modi and I have agreed that we'll be getting negotiations to address the long-running disparities that should have been taken care of over the last 4 years, but they didn't, so they didn't do it. That is that US-India trading relationship with the goal of signing an agreement. So he wants reciprocity, right? Energy flow. The Prime Minister and I also reached an important agreement on energy that will restore the United States as a leading supplier of oil and gas to India. Oh, good luck with that. It will be, hopefully, their number one supplier, he claimed. But in order to do that, you have to make sure that you somehow make it illegal for the Indians to import cheaper product from Russia. So how are you going to do that? You can't... First, the Americans could not compete with the Russians on oil and gas. I'm talking about the price, even with the production, with gas. Unless production, leave it aside. Production. It's always going to be more expensive to produce oil and gas in the United States of America and transport it to wherever on this planet. And if you look at this globe and you look at where India is, let's look at it. Here it is. This is the United States of America, all right? And India is right over here. You see India in green? Yeah, I have to tell you that Russia is right there. You see this? Right there. And these guys are right here. So it's a big distance. So again, the transport and all that, the Russians can deliver much cheaper and are delivering. So from the Indian perspective, they have to shoot themselves in the foot saying, I'm not going to buy the cheaper Russian oil and gas, I'm going to buy the American. But Americans, if you remember, they helped Pakistani military dictatorship against them during those times, but the Soviet Union helped India. Modi will not stab Russian President Putin in the back, I guarantee you that. So it's going to be in between. And Modi is going to get Sukhoi 57s and is going to get only F-35s. No, not good, not good. All right, so it says here, Trump stated that India is reforming its laws to welcome US nuclear technology. Again, trying to kick the Russians out, which is the highest level into the Indian market. If it would be the highest level, you don't have to impose any sanctions on anybody. Indian nuclear liability law, which remains an obstacle for purchases of nuclear reactors from the United States. All right, expanding defense ties. Right there. And he says that it's going to be, would eventually offer its F-35 fighter jets. What, in 2095? Is that when you're going to offer it? Like you give the F-16s nowadays? F-16 was designed, I think, in about 1969, 70. Its first flight was in 1974, if I remember correctly, the F-16. So 74, 84, 94, 2004, 2014, 2024. Fucking 50 years airplane. And you can say, well, it was updated and so on. Thank you very much. You buy that. I want one that was designed and built yesterday. I have my preferences, you have yours. How about that one? You drive the same Cadillac with some updates from 1968. Nice Cadillac, but I would like to drive one that has the technology of yesterday or today. So again, they're going to give the F-35s when F-35 is going to be 50 years old, like I don't know, 39 or 39, not even more, please. So and then terrorism. They're going to work on terrorism right there. So this is F-35. This is the one. I'm sorry. This is the one that the Americans said that eventually this is why I fell off the sky, I think in San Diego, California. And this is the one that the Russians are offering. Good. Who are the winners? India is the winners. Okay. So and then migration. All right. Let's see the migration. And then Russia-Ukraine conflict. Next one. Scholz calls for state of emergency in Deutschland. Why? Because of you. You. It's only you. Only you. That's what's going on over there. You. The Chancellor has spoken in favor of relaxing the constitutional debt break mechanism to continue supporting Ukraine. Are you crazy? So debt break. So they want to get more money for Ukraine when their economy is in shit. Why? Because of their self-imposed sanctions. Now, in a normal society and world, this guy would be called maybe a criminal? Maybe it would be called a traitor? I mean, is he working for the German people? That's all he should care. Now, if you tell me, yes, to keep them safe, from what? From a boogeyman created by the Americans and the interests? Is that what it is? I mean, come on, we're not baboons here. I mean, we may look like baboons, but anyway, we sometimes act like baboons, but we ain't baboons, I tell you that. All right, let's see what this imbecile says. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has called on the country's parliament to declare a state of emergency over the Ukrainian conflict. Okay, the head of government said he wants the constitutional debt break mechanism relaxed in order to ensure continued support. So borrow money for the neighbor's kids while your kids are starving. Sounds like you're a good parent. All right, enshrined in the German constitution, the limit dictates that the government cannot take on debts worth more than 0.35% of the country's annual GDP. Temporary exemptions are allowed in the event of natural disasters, of exceptional emergency situations that are beyond the control of the state. This is not beyond. It's a man-made, and that's the supposedly man. I know you got ding-a-ling over there. These guys, man-made situation is not like beyond control. Don't give those guys money. Don't give. I tell you how Germany could be solved. Its economy could be solved in a second. Stop giving those guys money. Give it. Okay, that's the first one. Second one, make sure you have an education that really educates people, makes them learn, so you don't have to import brains from India or other countries. All right, cheaper. All right, make sure that your economy promotes capitalism and has a beautiful, how do you call that, business-oriented market economy. That is, you don't have to import a labor force. You have yours, which you have to train, right? Make sure you do that. Make sure you don't impose sanctions on yourself by imposing sanctions on cheap natural gas and oil from a country that will give it to you 3 times or 4 times cheaper than the guy who tell you to impose sanctions on yourselves. Things are easy. Stop with immigration, so-called. Bring immigration when it's needed with the brains, but you don't create a problem in your country and then you say, oh, how do we solve the problem? Let me tell you, import those guys over here, bring them here. No. The problem should be solved in the family. If I have a problem, let's say in my house, and I have some nails that needs to be and I have retards in my house with both left hands that they can't fucking do anything, I'm gonna say, you know what, how about we get from Zimbabwe a few guys, sturdy guys with so they can nail some nails for me, because my imbeciles in the households, including this one, cannot fix things. How about I educate? How my educational system allows me to be able to have these guys that will do that because they're good paid. I can dictate all that. I can figure it out. I can fix that. I don't have to bring someone. Why do I bring someone? They are. Why are they are? Why? Because they learn in school. In school here, you learn about snipping your boobs, your asses, and your pink hair. What do you expect? What? Yeah. So good job. Get more money for the neighbor's kid. Good job. It's very easy. And the problem is the traitors are in plain view. And the traitors, or the people who will solve the problem, created the problem, are part of the ones who actually brought the problem in. Now, how can you compete when your production needs, how do you call it, energy? And energy is much more expensive. That means your finite product that you manufacture will be more expensive. What the hell? It's la mintea cocoșului. It's like the brain of a rooster. I was about to say a cock, but cock is a rooster, isn't it? Cuckoo. All right, my friends, here is, or however you want it. Here is, my friends. These guys are trying to break Brics, and Germany shot itself in the foot. And it seems like the baboon, before he gets kicked out after the election, I think in the 24th of this month in Germany, he's going to be kicked out, this Scholz. He just tried to, and run away, blow the things up. But I have another one that is even worse. I have 2 actually, worse than Scholz. Pistorius, that's a dangerous guy. There's a dangerous guy. I think he's more of a traitor than Scholz, more. And he will sell not only his mom, your mom as well, if he receives a blowjob or something. I guarantee you that. Pistorius, a defense minister, he's not working for the Deutsche Volk 100%. And you have the infantile Baerbock, Annalena Baerbock. These guys are dangerous, my friends. Michael Jackson's album, Dangerous. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.